Just do it the way I told you. Awarin was sitting in her car, talking on the phone. After parting ways with Mevika and walking back to her car, she got a call from the hotel manager in another province. They needed advice on some urgent problems, so She had been sitting in the car for half an hour already. She could have driven off, but she chose to stay and finish the call first, probably because Mevika was still here. She didn't feel like leaving just yet. Try it first. Whether it works or not, call me again tomorrow, she said while glancing up. That was when she saw Mevika walking out off the bar. She instinctively wanted to jump out of the car and go to her, but then she noticed Mevika was with 2 female employees, so she stayed in her car quietly. I'm planning to fly there soon as well, but I have to wait until the auction ice over. Once I have a suitable schedule, I'll let you know. As she spoke on the phone, she kept watching Mevika. It looked like Mevika was heading toward a car parked on the inner side of the lot. She must have thought Awarin had already left since she didn't glance in her direction. When the 2 employees got in the car with her, Awarin assumed Mevika had offered to give them a ride somewhere. Either way, it was convenient for her to go over now, so she let it go. A while later, she saw Mevika's car drive past just as she was about to hang up the call. All right, no problem. If it's really urgent, you can call me or just send a message. I'll call back when I can. Okay, goodbye. After finishing the call, she waited for the other person to hang up first. Then she checked the time on her phone, 10:30 p.m. It wasn't too late for Somyeon like her, who often stayed at the bar until late at night. But by the time she drove back to the hotel, took a shower, and got summerist, it would probably be past midnight. She figured it was time to head back, so she grabbed her car keys and was about to start the engine when Awarin's eyes shifted, noticing someone walking out of the bar. Even though she had only met this person once, she immediately recognized her. It was Jurana, Mevika's secretary. Jurana looked a little disheveled, and from the way she swayed, it was clear she was already drunk. She must have stayed to drink for another half hour after Awarin last saw her. Considering she had already had quite a bit before that, the alcohol had probably taken full effect by now. Watching her, Awarin wondered how Jurana was planning to get home. She saw her looking around as if searching for a car, but her steps were unsteady. Without hesitation, Awarin opened her car door and walked over. "P. Jurana," she called out quickly, hoping no one else Jurana knew would come out off bar right now. "Oh. I was wondering who that was," Jurana slurred, her voice clearly affected by the alcohol. "Your AI, Awarin, such a pretty name. It's kind of like your name too, Gina. Gina, oh wow, what a creative name." She seemed to have forgotten that Awarin had been the one to give her that nickname just half an hour ago. "Yes, so how are you getting home? Why are you standing here alone?" "Ooh, I called a car, but I have no idea where it is now." Jurana looked down at her phone, gripping it tightly as if afraid it might slip from her hands. "What's this?" She squinted at the screen as a notification popped up. "Cancelled." "Oh, looks like your ride got cancelled," Awarin said, glancing at the screen to check. "What should we do, call another one?" Or she paused to think. "Where do you live, Gina?" "Not far, just in a street near Sina Nikham station." "Nikham, that's not too far," Awarin decided quickly. "All right, I'll drive you home." "You're gonna take me." Jurana, now drunk, had dropped the formal way she spoke earlier. "Yes, it's close by, it's no trouble at all. And you're really drunk, you shouldn't go alone, let me take you home." "You're so kind, we just met, you know," Jurana said playfully, waving her hand dismissively. I should pretend I don't know anything, don't know what again." "Yes, just pretend you don't know," Awarin replied with a small laugh. "Come on, let's get in the car. This way." She gently took Jurana's arm, helping her walk steadily toward the car. Once inside, Awarin made sure Jurana was settled, closed the door for her, and started driving. Since their time in the car wouldn't be long, she decided to start a conversation, if Jurana was sober enough to talk. "Have you been working with Maple for a long time, Gina?" "Working? 1 year," Jurana answered, her speech slightly slurred but still understandable. "After Maple graduated, she took a big position in business development." "Oh, but you two seem really close," Awarin said with a chuckle. "Must be super busy with the auction these days." "The auction? Not really anymore, it's already done," Jurana laughed. "That's why we celebrated today." "The deal is closed already?" Awarin was surprised to hear this. No wonder Mevika had taken her employees out for drinks. She had finished her work earlier than expected, even faster than some seasoned professionals, or maybe Awarin was just overthinking things. Was she taking this too seriously for some reason? Trying to buy time until the final bidding day? Superior must have made a really strong offer, Awarin said casually, laughing. 20 billion might be too little for them. As she mentioned this, a nagging thought crossed her mind. It wasn't a good feeling, but there was something compelling about it. If she could use Etha's moment to her advantage, Mevika's secretary was right here with her, drunk. Jurana could still answer questions, but she didn't seem to have the awareness to filter her responses. This could be an opportunity. 20 billion, that's too low. Jurana waved her hand dramatically, as only a drunk person would. 25 billion, Superior can do it. Superior will win. She gave a big thumbs up before clapping her hands 3 times enthusiastically. 25 billion. Awarin was surprised to hear Jurana slip up and reveal that number. This was exactly what she wanted. That's a good number, she said casually as the car stopped at a red light. She turned to Jurana with a grateful smile, though Jurana was too drunk to notice its true meaning. As the auction day approached, discussions on social media became even more intense. The project was about developing a massive duty-free shopping mall in Thailand, which attracted a lot of public interest. Conversations about it had been ongoing, much like political debates. Right now, the hottest news was about the questionable qualifications of Siam Arena. Someone had posted photos of a venue that Siam Arena had managed under a long-term concession. Instead of maintaining it properly, they had let it deteriorate over the years. Complaints about poor event management had also surfaced. This issue was bound to hurt Siam Arena's credibility and bidding score. Analysts no longer saw them as a strong contender. Instead, attention shifted to the remaining bidders, whether a monopoly would form or if a new player would emerge as the winner. Aside from the auction, another unexpected topic had caught people's attention: Awarin's fashion style. Many admired her work and presence, making her a role model for professional fashion. Her outfits, hair, and overall look became a trend among certain groups. Now that Mevika had entered the competition as a rising female executive with an eye-catching image, people started watching her fashion choice too. Eventually, some sharp-eyed followers noticed something curious: 2 or 3 of Mevika's work outfits looked strikingly similar to ones Awarin had worn before. Photos from media events and hotel functions provided clear comparisons. What the heck? Mevika muttered, staring at the latest news. Once again, a side-by-side image of her and Awarin had surfaced. Ever since their handshake at the event, people had been watching them closely. That attention had faded for a while, especially after the rumor about Ration and her took over. But now, here they were back in the headlines together. In the news with Awarin now, Jurana told Mevika as she entered the office, still feeling a bit lightheaded from last night's drinks. She wasn't fully awake yet and something was nagging at her. I know, good thing you found out first, so I have someone to talk to. Otherwise, I wouldn't know who to discuss this with, Mevika sighed. Yeah, I just found out too, Jurana chuckled dryly. So, is this good or bad? I mean, how did you end up wearing the same outfits as Awarin? Mevika raised a hand to scratch her forehead, partially covering her face. It wasn't an accident. Don't tell me those are actually Awarin's clothes. You could say that, Mevika admitted with an awkward smile. Oh, Jurana let out a knowing laugh. By the way, Awarin, she's a nice person, right? I mean, she's a good rival, isn't she? Of course, she's really wonderful. There's nothing bad I can say about her. Mevika smiled. Saying it out loud to someone else felt good. It was only the second time she had spoken about Awarin like this, the first being to her close friend who had just found out as well. Oh, that's nice. So, what exactly is your relationship? Jurana asked, hesitating a little. It's nothing like that, Mevika quickly corrected. We're just really close. She smiled, but her words weren't entirely convincing. Close enough to borrow work clothes from each other, and not just once. Sounds more like when you stay over at your partner's place and borrow their clothes. What partner? Mevika laughed, blushing slightly. Don't jump to conclusions, just keep it a secret for now, okay? Got it. But doesn't she see you as a competitor? I mean, you are competing. Shouldn't you both be trying to win? Did you two make some kind of deal or something? You're close, but you still trust each other. It's normal to compete, Mevika said simply. We just try to keep things separate. Oh, why? Mevika was a little curious because her secretary had been asking strange, repetitive questions for a while. Ijai, you seem very wary of her because she's our competitor. I understand. At first, I thought the same. It seemed impossible to get along. But after getting to know her more, I see her differently now. Or do you still think she's untrustworthy? Oh, no, not at all. Journey waved her hands and shook her head quickly, then added jokingly. Well, she is a competitor, so it's normal for me to be suspicious. She quickly changed the subject before Mevika could start questioning her behavior any further. The sound of high heels echoed as someone entered the meeting room. Fedor shut firmly behind them to ensure no outsiders could interfere with the confidential matters discussed inside. Documents were neatly stacked on the large central table, while laptops were placed on smaller tables around it. A projector displayed data from a laptop, final financial figures that would soon be reviewed. The atmosphere was tense as everything was reaching its conclusion. All right. Awerin clapped her hands together and looked around at her team. Her voice was more serious than in previous meetings. There's a lot of information that forces us to make decisions based on our competitors. Some use underhanded connections, while others have qualifications that might be as strong as ours, or even better. So, qualifications alone won't be enough. Returns on investment also play a big role in securing our advantage. We may not need to change much today, but there are a few key points we need to reconsider. We can't let great and grow win by using unfair methods. You can't let superior win either, right? Someone called out, and many others nodded in agreement. Superior? Awerin paused for a moment. She thought for a bit, then nodded slightly and answered with a smile. The sound of knocking on the door made Mevika, who was working, look away from her computer. She saw her secretary walk in with a pale face, looking worried about something. Mevika quickly asked, "Pijai, what's wrong? Why do you look like that?" "Kun Maple, I have something I need to tell you," the secretary said. "It's my fault. I was too drunk and lost control. I made a mistake." "Something you need to tell me? Drunk and lost control," Mevika frowned. "What do you mean?" "It's about Kun Awerin." The secretary finally decided to confess what she had accidentally said.